The future is now.
Boys, girls, and in-betweeners.
In-betweeners.
What's up?
Without the wieners. Well, maybe they do have wieners. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I think I got the notification on my phone that we're live. Here we go. Ooh, I gotta actually let me pull up another song before we.
What do we need another song for? We already had one. We only need a taste.
It's a special day.
Well, taste makers. Oh. Oh shit. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
With my apple juice here. It's labeled. It's called. It's just generic.
That's
apple juice with little.
Here it
some
is.
Bubbles. And you're just
I'm just
generic beer.
I'm just a beer, but in case.
No affiliations.
No no beers were made and the no beers were hurt in the making of this video. I will also say young children. And what I mean by young children, as it turns out, I get it. In the US of A, you got to be 21 to have a little more fun, to get that drink on. Now you don't need to have. And just give me
a little more fun.
A little
Is
more.
it? Do you have to have it to have fun?
That's what I was just getting at, dude. Like you don't need to have. You don't need to drink to have fun. I actually,
social.
It's a little bit of a social construct, but I definitely think that okay, so
I was saying it was an inhibitor of social interaction. It's a little bit of a drink that makes you.
It's like a social construct too, a little bit.
That makes
it's become a little bit of a social construct. So, I will be honest with you. I did not have a drink of alcohol until I was 23. Not only did I not have a drink of alcohol until I was 23, but I didn't actually drink it at my friend's house. I wasn't pressured into anything. I actually happened to be in Vegas at the time. Oh, I got that. I got that too. Got that too. Got that too. Got that too.
I'll get the birthday guy.
So I actually didn't have a drink till I was 23 years old. All my friends were drinking at 18, 19, 20, maybe even before that. Even my brother was drinking early. He was drinking at 16. I remember him breaking up with his girlfriend, and he had the phone cord kind of schlepped over his neck, and he was just vomited all over my pants. He was wearing my clothes. My brother used to steal my clothing because I was similar size to him when I was younger, and then he used to steal it and basically steal all my stuff, and he just stole my clothing, and he'd vomit over it. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Damn. And it was just it just wasn't pretty, man. I never really thought about alcohol as I have to do it type of thing, and I don't think anybody should. If you go out and have a good time, you don't have to have a drink.
Of course.
It's just I happen to be around a lot of people. I came from the party scene, so I actually even used to DJ. So people were doing tons of drugs, tons of alcohol. I was just into the music, and one day I went to Vegas, of course, of all places, right? So Vegas, I was in Vegas, and it was it was an after hours party. I was really hungry, really thirsty, and I had one of those big. They had one of these big frosty beverages, and I wasn't totally sure what it was. It tasted good, and it had some alcohol. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's got some alcohol in it." I'm like, "Oh yeah, whatever." I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." So next thing I know, I'm drinking this long, fucking ridiculous tube of stuff, and it was dude, it was just this big frosty beverage that had alcohol. And the next thing I knew, because I didn't have a tolerance, I didn't really have a tolerance, I was drunk on maybe a Slurpee size worth of stuff.
I'm a lightweight. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Gets the job done, save some money.
Yeah, well, also it's also a good thing because
have you ever been to New Orleans? Have
I
you been
passed
to
through
the
New
scene,
Orleans. I
the
passed through
alcoholic scene.
I passed through New Orleans when I drove. I've been across country, drove across country several times, and when I drove across country, they actually have drive-through alcohol places, like in a cup, like margaritas. Like you can get a drive-through margarita. I'm like, are you
I don't
fucking
doubt
kidding
it.
me? I'm like,
Yeah, Bourbon Street. Oh my god.
It wasn't
that
even
was
in Bourbon
probably,
Street.
No, I'm just saying like the
birthday cake.
fucking several foot tall slushy with just alcohol, and it tastes like candy because there's so much sugar in it, and just it's insane.
Well, that's what
I don't do that. I mean, you have the drinkers that are party drink, they just go over the line, and then you have people that actually sort of enjoy the scene, the brewery scene, tasting different beers.
Hey, beer, bro. Is that an IPA, bro?
Yeah.
Is that an
Their
IPA?
palate is very attuned to,
I only drink IPAs.
how hoppy it is, and
Hoppy?
the different. There's different.
Yeah, but you know what?
There's
It's when you
there's a
become
whole culture around it.
Yeah, you know what? The culture
Actually-
is interesting, but I will say that, like, listen, if you're just like, oh, I only drink IPAs, let me just tell you, I drank the shittiest beer in America growing up. After I got into that, drinking at 23, I was like, when I got into drinking, it's like, yeah, I got into drinking. But I'll be honest with you, I did for a little while.
Be responsible.
And, I'm being responsible. I also had my own business at 19, 18. So I just, I knew balance. I had to find balance. And then, when I was like 23, I drank, shitty beers like PBR. I don't give a shit.
Oh my god.
Listen,
PBR.
listen. You guys want to?
Actually,
Anybody out there
Steel
who wants
Reserve?
to? Yeah, that's
Have you
even more
ever-
or Old English. That's not even fucking alcohol. It's malt liquor. It says malt liquor on it. I don't even know what malt liquor. I'm like, what is that? Is that like milk duds in your mouth? Is that like Whoppers or some shit? I had no idea. And
Oh my god. So
and it was
here's
just
here's the definitive list.
fucking
of worst
disgusting.
beers.
The absolute worst. Bud
Hang on.
Light. Oh look, Bud Lights are up there.
Dude, Keystone. I remember Keystone was so cheap, and we just get a ton of it and just get shit faced and go.
Keystone Light, KL baby, killing it light. So I used to drink
There's
Bud
a-
Light. Bud
yeah.
Light's number 3, but I used to have PBR, and all these PBR hipsters. Everybody thinks it's like, oh, it's not even on the top 10. Dude, that shit's disgusting. And there's another stuff, they don't even have it. They don't even make it anymore. It was called Schlitz. Think about the name of that. Schlitz.
Schlitz?
You order
You
the
mean-
Schlitz.
you
It's just
mean it's a
like,
German?
what does the Schlitz do for you? Just the
What is
word
this Schlitz?
Schlitz. Type in
I'm gonna
Schlitz.
take
To
a
see,
Schlitz on
yeah,
this
see if
Schlitz.
it's type in Schlitz. See if it's SCHLITZ. See if it even exists. Schlitz. Oh, there it is. Schlitz.
Schlitz. You
Schlitz.
almost said Schlitz. when you
Oh
said
my
exist.
God, Schlitz. It's still around? No way.
Dude, no, it's like a craft fucking.
Oh, it's a craft beer. No, that's the
That
thing.
is-
They made all these. Dude, that's all you got to do. Is you're a shitty beer. You just got to put a
Damn,
new school
okay.
label on it,
Right.
and you
It's all
just
about branding.
Oh,
Goes back to branding.
it goes
you know
back
what
to
I'm saying?
marketing. It always goes back to marketing. It really does. It always goes back to marketing.
Like that, if no one knew how
That-
shitty that
okay.
beer was, you'd be like, ah,
And I think it was in a
that's
can.
like a
You know what?
golden.
Go in. Okay, go back. Hit back. Go into images. Go to images.google. They rebranded this shit. That was the worst beer ever. Now type in Schlitz beer 1985. Oh, there it is. There it is. It was even worse than that. That's actually a new can.
What the fuck is this?
That's like Sunshine
this
Vitamin
fucking-
beer. That's like it looks like that's an old school can.
Looks
That's
like
an
a
original
fucking,
can. A can of
shaving
motor oil.
cream.
Like
It's
a
like fucking yeah. Shaving-
vitamin D beer. Does that say vitamin D beer? Does that really say that?
Vitamin beer. I don't know.
What does that
Let's click
say?
on it.
What does that say? Schlitz Gusto. Old Milwaukee. It's just a name, man. Schlitz. I don't trust anything that has the schle sound. Schlep. There's all kinds.
Schlep.
There's all kinds of negative connotations too, and like you probably hear your schlep, your schmo. Well, I'm from New York, so you can. There's a ton of like derogatory terms for people who are lazy fucks. We got Schlitz. Oh no, it's not Schlitz. It's the beer, but it's shitty beer. Schlitz, schlep,
Yes,
schmo, schmuck.
Yeah, schmuck.
Anybody who's Jewish who might know what a schmuck is, I don't even want to get started on that. It's a whole different topic. We'll talk about that another day. The schmuck. Do you know what a schmuck is? You ever hear the term schmuck?
I've heard of it, but I don't know how it originates.
You want? Why don't you type in it? Why don't everybody at home? You know what? We'll entertain this. Type in schmuck.
I feel like
type in. I know what it is.
Not a very productive.
No, it's a productive. I want everybody needs to know what a schmuck is.
What was the word that I didn't know that I had to look up last time?
I know,
it was
you
like
gotta
a sexual term.
You gotta
something. It was pegging or something. No, not pegging.
No, just like there's all different.
A girl, someone that likes watching couples have sex.
A cuck.
Cuck, yes. Wait, I totally forgot the term now.
It sounds like a new
schmuck. Schmuck. Schmucks and cucks.
That sounds. If you had that in a room, that would be really interesting. Oh no, that's not it. The Yiddish. No, the Yiddish. Okay, go down. It's Yiddish. Yeah. There it is. It was.
We talking like Urban Dictionary?
Yeah, we're talking. Or? No, we're talking. It's a Yiddish term.
Yiddish.
It's Yiddish. The meaning of real meaning of schmuck.
There's a whole fucking documentary.
It's a minute and 20, and then the schmuck.
Shall we?
The Wex. Okay, let's see what he says. The schmuck is. Let's pay attention.
But I noticed with the subsequent book that I wrote, which was about ethics in this world, called How to Be a Mensch and Not a Schmuck. One of the unintended consequences of that book was I found out almost immediately that virtually every Jew, whether they speak Yiddish or they don't speak Yiddish, whether they're even Ashkenazim or not, no matter how assimilated their family, they know the literal meaning of schmuck as penis. Most non-Jews knew it only the way it's used in English as, a pejorative term for an idiot, a jerk, and didn't realize that, basically calling somebody a schmuck is calling them a dick, except it's much more vulgar. And that became for me almost the defining thing, is there's still a bit of schmutz, a bit of bad language,
schmutz.
That
almost sounds the same.
That people still know, no matter how far removed.
So that is the schmuck, folks. But it's not even just the schmuck. It's not even just like. So it goes a farther.
How big's your schmuck? So is it circumcised?
Well, that's the thing. So it actually evolved from what I understand. The understanding is that the schmuck is actually the foreskin, because the bris, because the Jews.
Speaking of foreskin,
Jews cut. The designer penis. Designer penis is very popular years ago. It's still. Amongst Jewish culture, I don't know if it's still a thing with the designer penis.
Speaking of,
but the breasts.
You know this. This like skin right here on your elbow. Do you know what that's called? Do you know what that's called?
That's called.
Let me let you guess. You'll never guess it.
Chew stick? I don't know. What is it called?
I heard that it was called the weenus.
The weenus.
The weenus. The skin that's right here.
But it doesn't even sound close next to your penis. It doesn't even sound like
I know. Apparently that's the scientific term.
If I think about it, I think it can probably affect me in my weenus area.
Look. It's such a funny.
The weenus.
A weenus. I thought it was weenus.
Oh, it's a weenus.
Oh, it's a slang. I guess I'm sorry. It's not a technical term. It's not a scientific.
Yeah. So, if you backed it up in some Yiddish, you'd be all right. If you just need a nice Jewish man to adopt it, the weenus, and you'll be able to to take it to the next level. But
I like my favorite thing on girls is their weenuses. That's what I look for in a woman.
Ladies, do you like the sound of me? Dark chocolate. Eating.
And,
do you like the sign of my? Do you like my weenus?
Let's never say that word again, ever.
My weenus.
And let's also.
Maybe if I should.
Let's also.
No, but you know what? It depends.
Not fucking smack your lips on the.
Maybe now. Hold on a second.
Unless You know,
Let me
I'm
get
not
a,
just
let me get a,
ASMR.
good drink. Let me get a good
ASMR.
drink sound in here.
I think
Hold
we're
on,
turning
hold on.
people off.
Can I get a drink sound?
I think we're turning our new viewers off. I apologize. If you're watching, I'm sorry.
But
We haven't even. This is a whole bunch of nonsense.
But I think no, we're not nonsense, dude. This is like culture right here. I don't know what you're talking about. We know, first of all, it is culture. Schmuck, schmo, schlep, all this stuff. You know, it's got some pertinence to it. The Wienos. If you say it with a German accent, it actually might sound better. Wienos, Wienos, Wienos. It sounds a little bit more. If you say it like a Java nerd, and I mean Java nerd in the most polite of fashions.
Take the for loop of the x plus y equals weenus.
Versus, if you say it in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, you guys. Hold on, here it goes.
Let's see it. Let's see the.
I don't know what you want from me. You can just have a little bit of my weenus. It sounds a lot more masculine when you talk about it like this.
I need to moisturize my weenus.
I think
that was more of a.
I don't know what that was, but it depends on whether or not how you say things. You'd be surprised. Voice actors have that shit on lock. Maybe one day I'll grow up and be a voice actor.
Oh, who's that voice actor that did? He does like everything. He did SpongeBob. He did
SpongeBob.
There was this like masterclass, not masterclass, but it was a video where he just goes through every reviews impression. Yeah, this guy's voice actors do not get the respect that I feel like regular actors get. Yet they do way more. They do way more versatility with their
voice actor known as SpongeBob SquarePants. The ice king
I
from
think it
Adventure
depends.
Time, the mayor from the Powerpuff Girls, and Heifer from Rocco's Modern Life. People seem to love to do impressions of animated characters online.
All right, I
so
can't
we're
handle
gonna
it
rate
anymore.
a couple of them and check
It's
them
hurting my feelings.
like.
Yeah, but
if you're detached from it, like it's like your whole world breaks when you're like, oh, that was the same guy that did. You know.
Well, the problem with that is like depending on the character's voice, you almost. I mean, he kind of looks like a SpongeBob, and then like it's very. Like look at his. Yeah, and I don't know about you,
my childhood, man.
I'd rather be a American Dad than a SpongeBob guy. Or
American Dad. What voice did he do?
He's an actual real. I forgot his name, but he's a really big actor. Like he's like an actual not just a voice actor. He just happens to have a really deep voice. You've seen American Dad, right? Have you seen American Dad before?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Is that too strong for you? Does that hit you? Does that hit you? You know, is that too controversial for you, American Dad?
No.
No, okay. I thought maybe you didn't think it was
No.
It was proper or something.
I think it's good. Simpsons is better.
The Simpsons is a totally different beast. I mean, the Simpsons has been around forever. So speaking of being around forever,
I think we've been on this topic
my
forever.
birthday. When I think about my birthday,
so happy birthday!
Been around forever.
Let's official here. Let me get a sound. Let me get a clapping.
We got a soundboard.
I'm too lazy.
No, you're too lazy. Okay.
Anyways, how do you feel? Another year older. Can I say your age, or is that?
No. We're gonna have people guess that shit. I don't want build a Wikipedia page first to me, and then I'll put it on there. If you gotta.
You're not on the wiki.
Wiki.
Not on the wiki.
Wiki. So,
wiki.
With my weenus, wiki and my weenus. But yeah,
go like this. On
yeah.
the
Be
track.
like, here, this is Dave. This is Dave's wiki weenus. So, what do we got on the plate today? I mean, this is so much shit, dude. My brain's been like crazy.
It's been a crazy day for both of us.
Everybody, how was your President's Day? Did you make any dead presidents?
I was an anti-President's Day. I worked even harder. You know what? I was like, today people are taking the day off. I'm gonna work twice as hard as I would.
You know,
a normal day.
I worked pretty hard, but I succumbed, and I didn't know. I just want everybody to know I fucking hate cars. I love cars, but I hate cars. So I like driving cars. I hate the object of going into debt on cars because most people get a loan to take out a loan to either lease or buy a car. and they use President's Day, 4th of July, the end of the year, like holidays and shitty holidays like President's Day to sell more cars. Car dealerships like, oh, President's Day sale, spending a lot more presidents than you make. But it just, as it turns out, this is a business. So again, this is a business podcast too. It's an entrepreneurship and business podcast. This is a thought, a very deep thought podcast. Just so everybody knows, if you're watching this, if you're thinking about buying a car, fucking don't buy a car. Because, I'm telling you, don't buy a car, because buying a car, especially now because of the advancements in technology, they're so intensely incremental. Right now, is you spend $20,000 to like $40,000 to buy a fucking car. You pay it off in 4 to 5 years, minimum 72 months is like average 4 or 5 years. And it's fucking worth about $8,000 less the minute you drive it off the lot. Not only that, but depending on what new models come out, it's almost as worthless as your cell phone. Okay, and by the next year, the next Apple phone comes out, and then you're sitting on this fucking hunk of junk that's like literally you're paying for gas, you're paying for electricity if you got a hybrid or electric vehicle, you're paying for insurance. You're just fucking paying, bro. You're just paying and paying and paying, and buying a car is just the worst investment, because after a certain amount, right? Usually it's about 36,000 miles. On average, 30. Sometimes some are 50. Most cars are 36,000 miles. After 36,000 miles, if anything breaks in the fucking car, it's your fault. So you don't get covered. Your tranny, full transmission falls out. Your car don't start. Like the whole drivetrain falls out.
Transmission tranny. That was weird.
What? You never heard that? Okay, I'm old school. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm old school.
It's an offensive term in 2020.
Yeah, no, it's not offensive. I'm talking about a fucking transmission, dude. So anyway. Maybe it's non-binary transmission. I don't know. So anyway, the thing is that there are so many parts on a car. There's so many, and then the shit piece by piece. If you had to fix it, if you had like 2 things go wrong in like a year on a car, you're looking at like $1,000+ at least. It's because the parts are so expensive, and getting it fixed by somebody specialist. Because a lot of old cars, a lot of guys who worked on old cars don't get trained on new cars, so they won't fix it correctly. So now a lot of times, because the technology is so advanced, they got to go to the dealership, because the dealerships need training. They're forced to go. Their head techs are forced to take training. Because I had friends in the family that work at dealerships and repair dealerships, and it's just never cost effective. You're better off spending $4,000 to $5,000 a year to get a brand new car, leasing a car. Okay, and even if your credit's not good, and then you guys, if you guys are watching this now, just hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to show you guys how to improve your credit and how to beast getting a better deal on a lease, and just leveraging a better option to transportation, because
speaking of,
it's just fucking ridiculous. It's never a good deal at all to buy a car. Just lease if you need a car.
This is the car that I'm going to get. It's
look at that!
Hot Wheels car.
Hot Wheel announces a remote control Tesla Cybertruck.
That's the only car that I need.
Dude,
just driving around. Look cool.
I was talking about this the other day, and a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, man, electric truck. We're waiting for electric truck." I was like, "Dude, I'm waiting for the
$20.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Tesla, the Cybertruck, and I know it looks like something out of Blade Runner." But I know it's like Elon Musk's, like, basically his secret love that from when he was a kid watching all those movies.
Like, this looks like it was a toy before it was a truck, but it's actually the reverse. It was made into a toy after it was a truck, because of course,
And it's awesome, dude. I don't care. I don't care if that window broke on that demo. It doesn't make a difference to me, because I think the thing is fucking awesome, and I'm gonna drive around it.
Someone would have this as a concept and make it a toy, and someone else would be like, this obviously could never be a real thing.
Dude, FaceTime was. You know what FaceTime is from, right? Like the Visiphone. You know the Visiphone is, right? Have you ever seen Jetsons? The Jetsons were
Once
like
or twice.
a 60s cartoon, late 60s cartoon.
No.
A late 60s cartoon became a
Yeah, it was
reality.
like a space
Space
travel
family. A space family
yeah.
who like lived up in the clouds because the planet was probably so polluted. They already knew the planet. Dude, they were already fortune telling. They already knew that the planet was so polluted. They had to like live up. His boy Elroy, and he had to like live up in the sky and shit with his like robot maid. They had a robot maid. Can you bring up a nice picture of the Jetsons, please, and make me feel good about life since my birthday. It's my birthday, so
Okay,
I'm making small requests here.
Okay.
You know.
It's not like you don't do that
I know, but like, come on, hey, listen.
No, I got you.
Yeah, the Jetsons.
I'm on it.
The Jetsons family. Look at that, like, great family. Do. Look, see, look, they're up in the sky. That's where their houses are, up in the sky. He works for a horrible. George Jetson works for Space Sprockets, and his main job.
It's like the Flintstones.
He's
that,
so
that
yeah.
guy.
It's made from Hanna-Barbera. But the funny part is, it's like, this is like gonna be real shit soon. You're gonna have like a talking dog with all these things. You're gonna have a robot maid, and George Jetson's job is so already like automated that all he does is press a button. Like literally, there's a button. He's like, my button pressing finger, and all he does is press a button. That's what he does. That's his whole job, to press the button. So it's gonna be like
70
real
years,
life.
70 years later, he was right.
I don't know how old Eep Op Orc. I don't know how old the Jetsons is.
Oh wait, no, you said 60s.
I think the late
So,
60s. Yeah.
Yeah, 50 years later.
Is it 50 years? Man.
Or no, 60.
No, 60s, 70s. No, late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010. Oh shit. Really? Yeah, I'm curious now. I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. When is the first? I'm pretty sure it's late 60s.
Oh, late 60s. Okay.
Yeah. Episode.
No, it's all good. We can move on.
So I want to know, bro.
We haven't even gotten to our first topic.
They're all a topic. Oh wow, I was so wrong, but so right. The first air date was September 23rd, 1962. Wow. That's almost 60 years.
Yes, sir.
Holy shit, dude.
Yes, indeed.
So when I was watching that, and everybody's going to guess my age. Wow.
Now people are gonna think you're older than you are.
Older than dirt. Older than dirt in your backyard. It's the Mediterranean diet. Isn't that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So that's
Mediterranean. There's a study that said that Mediterranean diet, people live the longest who have that diet because they, I don't know, some organisms to fight bacteria.
Weren't you looking? That was a topic, right, on today's call?
Oh, I exited out because you weren't too.
What do you mean? Because
You didn't seem enthused about it.
I'm enthused about anything that helps longevity, but that's not bullshit. Oh, I mean, good food isn't bullshit. You know, like eating healthy food.
You want me to bring it back up?
Mediterranean food in general is very inclusive of a lot of vegetables, a lot of lemon, a lot of hummus and peas and beans and shit, creamed beans. I mean, garbanzo beans is hummus. You know, it's just a little different. And yeah, dude. I mean, how could it not be healthy? You know, but the thing about it is that, you know, it's funny. Everybody in America talks about diets, right? Everybody talks about diets in America, and it's just like, oh, the Mediterranean diet, oh, the Miami diet, oh, this diet. But the reason it seems so advantageous is because the American diet is fucking gross. It's filled. It's just pummeled with. It's pummeled with spam and canned hams and canned hams and spam,
yams and
Yeah.
spams and
mams. I wish it was mams,
and pans with Teflon.
dude. Just
With
anyway,
fucking
just the way the
poison.
just the way the food is cooked, The food is harvested. The food is stored. Everything about the American diet isn't good. Even the way it's prepared. I mean, like if you there's so many places to eat that you can go to eat, but 90% of them, I would say 90% of them are all fast food locations, and most fast food locations are fast for a reason. And if you're comparing to any, because like okay, so for instance, like the Miami diet. Okay, that was a thing years ago. I don't know if that's still a thing. The Miami diet. Whoa, it's a Miami diet. We got fresh, fresh this and fresh that, and like it's lean and you're like, yeah, because if you live in Miami, you're spending a ton of money, and it's like fresher food from like the shit food that you're eating most of the time. And the same thing is like the Italian diet. Oh, I can make a Japanese diet. How about I make a Japanese diet? Oh, it's gonna help you live longer. No shit. Any diet outside of the American diet is going to increase your longevity. It's like what you put in is what you get out. I mean,
you can't just say a certain diet. You have to go into the details of the diet and see what, because it's not obviously not just diet. That's one part of it. Like this study says specifically was associated with stemming the loss of bacterial diversity. So there's a specific scientific, thing within this that says how it can help your gut handle these bacterias. So it's not necessarily like objectively healthy. It's like in one aspect they found that it was. So it says microbiome changes were associated with increase of bacteria known to produce beneficial short-chain fatty acids and decrease of bacteria involved in producing particular.
Yeah, dude, it's just people realize that gut health is like a really big thing, and it's fermented foods, natural harvested foods, most foods that are either prepared.
I mean,
or
you can
grilled.
still be overweight and have a Mediterranean diet. Like that's still possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know a ton of guys like that.
Yeah,
if you pound food all day, it doesn't. I don't care what kind of food you're eating, but. Genuinely speaking, I bet they're still healthier if like you'd actually, they put a heavy weight on because they're like, oh, because now it's like okay,
I'm curious like what particular foods and if it is just from the Mediterranean because of the location. And what it offers there,
it's not the location. It's not the location. I mean, yeah, if you're in like let's say Greece or Turkey or. If you're in the Mediterranean,
it's more accessible and
it's like
cheaper.
Probably healthier food, but it's really the preparation. They use a lot of citrus is your fucking friend. Like people don't realize how powerful citrus is. Like lemon water, bro. The reason I look that everybody
we talked about lemons.
Lemons
they can actually heal wounds because they have I guess it's citrus.
Citrus acid is known to like instantly you can clean shit with lemons. And I've done it before. Like I clean shit with lemons
and it cleans us.
I'm just
cleans our
I'm just saying like lemon water is your friend. You should be drinking. You want longevity, you want to look good.
Health tip
go drink some lemon water every day.
What's his name?
Come out a champ. You could do all your crazy things. You could do dances in circles. You can you can fast 50 hours if you want or 50 days. But as long as you take some lemon water, bro, you're essentially giving your body what it needs. Every single day you should drink 1 cup of the minute you wake up. 1 cup of water with lemon. Even if you're fasting. I tell about everybody's just like, "Oh, well that doesn't count." I'm like, "No, dude. Citric acid, lemon and water does not count as food. It's not sugar. We're not talking about lemonade or some hybrid shit. Or like, some lemon flavored drink. We're talking about straight up lemon water. Lemon water. Not no sugar. Don't put sugar. Don't put the flavoring. Just fucking take a lemon and squeeze half of it in. It's that squeeze half of it into a full cup of ice water or like tepid water, whatever kind of water you drink.
Yes.
But that's your friend.
We got a comment that said, "What's wrong with Teflon?" I mentioned Teflon. I don't want to get. There's documentaries about it. There's movies about it. But essentially, it's a material. It's a chemical that they
It's
put in
China.
pans to make it not stick, the food to not stick to the pan, and if it gets above a certain temperature,
The food, it
can
sticks
cause
to your
It's
food.
cancerous.
Yeah, it
and
sticks to your food.
Yeah, it gets
starts to-
inside you, and then
Gets
Yeah, it's the whole
inside.
thing.
How does that go again? Gets inside you. It's always
like,
inside you.
like
There's,
alien.
there's all kinds of shit inside you, bro.
Anyway, yeah, we haven't even touched our first topic, which is
Well, we went backwards.
actually let's. I'm gonna go off order, but
Okay, that's fine.
there's this. Oh, where was it? Do you know the company Supreme, or the brand rather, Supreme?
Yeah.
It's like on the shirts, and they overcharge for.
Yeah, it's a
fucking
joke.
everything.
I don't even think the clothing's that great.
I know, but they're genius. They're genius marketers.
They
But
make a cookie.
apparently, there's a Supreme Oreo cookie now.
It's pink.
I haven't.
Is it
I haven't.
pink?
I haven't watched this, so. But hang on, let me.
Is it limited edition? Do you get like?
But
is it
dude,
worth more money?
17. That like, it's probably just tastes like a regular Oreo.
A 3-pack of Supreme. No, it's-
Oreo cookies are in the news, but these are no regular Oreos.
They cost $8 for just 3 of them. But they're red. It's a marketing stunt from the clothing brand Supreme.
Yeah, the cookies are supposed to hype the company's upcoming line of accessories, but many fans are saying $8 for a 3-pack of red Oreos is out of control.
You know what? Silver lining, at least they're double stuffed.
Oh, double.
Whoa.
What does it say 17K on it?
Because I guess they maybe stopped
Nobody's
selling them,
printing.
and then people were
No.
just like, "Oh, Supreme,
You know,
fucking, oh, I love." Dude, they're fucking genius branding people.
three
though.
rare. Okay, you know. Okay, so I wanna address
It's
this.
just there's a shirt that says their name on it, and it's just like, do you know like the history of that and
It's
how they got so
I
popular?
think it's a skateware company. Isn't it skateware or is it streetwear? I don't even know exactly. I looked it up years ago.
Hang on, let me.
But you know the thing about. Okay. I don't even know if they're not publicly traded. Yeah, it's an American skateboarding shop established. Holy shit! It's only
What?
they came out in 2017.
Yeah, I knew they were pretty new, and now just everyone, all the influencers are wearing them. Damn, this hat is fucking killing my head.
Dude,
It's
their
such
shit's
a-
not even good. I don't even
Yeah,
think their
I
stuff looks
know.
that great.
And the logo is just like white lettering on a red. It's like, you know.
Dude, you know, I
could
always
do
think
that,
about.
like a 12-year-old kid could make that.
I always
like
think
a-
about going into the fashion business in a different type of
Dude,
fashion.
people are obsessed.
But I don't even
with
mean the
certain-
fashion business. I'm talking about the business of making some cool shit with purpose. Like, there's been so many skateboard brands over the years. And I didn't even know, like, that was... I thought they were older. I thought they maybe were, like, 2005 or 6. I didn't know they were 2017, bro. They're less than 3 years old.
Who was the
Really? Less
who's
than
the
3
Who's
years?
the founder?
It's a Louis Vuitton. Well, I don't know if they merged or they bought them. Established in New York City and generally luxury fashion company Louis Vuitton held a fashion show. No. James Jebbia.
Yep, that's what I saw too.
Look at that dude. In his 50s, British guy. Dude, I'm telling you, man, you just need one, like... You know, that's what I'm talking about,
Dude,
bro.
let's just-
When fucking people tell
let's
me
just
there's
start-
no money... Dude, let me just tell... Okay, bro, I'm gonna get fucking pissed now. All right, when people tell me
I'm ready.
that there's... They go
Bring
like,
it.
oh, you know what? I can't... There's no money. I can't make money. There's no way I can make money. This fucking guy started a company probably somewhere in New York City, depending on where it is. It could have been in the Village, right? It could have been a few $1,000s for rent. I'd say $5,000-$6,000, right? In a small shop. Had this fucking just straight up like, dude, just standard issue text behind a red background with some great marketing, and it's not even anything special. It's like I've seen this shit, like just standard issue shitty hoodies, some T-shirts, some hats. There's nothing special about it. They just slap the name on it. And I swear, it goes to show you, you can literally start. You probably could start that company with fucking $5,000. You can start. You can scrape together bottles and get fucking $5,000. I could. You know what? I would bet. I would fucking bet that if you were an entrepreneur and you wanted it and you needed $5,000 and the bank wouldn't give it to you, you didn't have a fucking credit card, we could go beg for money on the streets of fucking LA for like a week and a half and make $5,000. And I'd be willing to fucking prove that. In the summer, you know what? We'll do that challenge. Be like, trying to start a business, help me out. You think I'm fucking kidding? You could get $5,000 to this company started with Dick. They don't even tell you it's a privately held company, right? And they probably got it in. He's a very knowledgeable man, right? Knowledgeable guy, probably like did tons of shit. Yeah. But there is nothing special about that fucking brand. When I was a kid, when I was my teens, I used to wear Jenko jeans, JNCO, or Kickwears, and there was another company called Caffeine, and I was friends with some of the guys who ran Caffeine, right? The guys who ran Caffeine, you know what? They had a unique pair of pants because they were wide legs. They actually sewn them in the place. It was on Long Island, New York, and they used to sew the legs together, and the pants is huge. Maybe I have a pair of... Hold on a second. Hold on. I have a pair of these fuckers. Hold on.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Keep it going.
Yeah. So first Supreme store opened in an old office in Manhattan. It was designed with skaters in mind, with a unique design for the store layout. By arranging clothes around the perimeter of the store, a large central space permitted skaters with backpacks to skate in the store and feel comfortable. So obviously there was some gimmick to it. It wasn't just like, a stroke of luck. Like, they had a marketing strategy. They had an idea. They had the skater community continue to grow with this
Ready?
With this space.
All right.
So it's like not anyone. I don't think anyone can just scrounge up, a little bit of money, and like you have to have the idea behind it. You have to have
I know, but people don't understand
community behind it.
Idea, yeah, but you build community. You build.
Like money's not the issue. Like
but that's what
you can get fucking loans. You can
that's
get
what I'm saying.
Bullshit,
but most people complain about the money. It's not the idea and the motivation. Okay, so this fucking company, I don't even know if they're still around. Look at this shit.
Oh yeah.
Look at it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, this is one leg.
It's a fucking.
This. I still have this because it's like a timepiece. No one would
It's
believe
like a
me.
fucking dress.
I wore these, bro. These were
Yeah,
mine.
you've said that before.
Back in the 90s.
I can't even believe you wore that.
Bro,
wore those as like a serious,
Look,
like just
I
out.
I ran a business.
Like I would wear
at
that
18.
like as
Whoa.
a joke, but
That
not
was the
as a
scene.
fucking.
That was the style, bro. Look at this. And we like kids be like, yo, what's up? And I'm like,
all you need is some cowboy boots,
Dude,
and then you
dude,
can go to rodeo.
look at that. Do you know how? Have you
It's a
had
fucking fire hazard,
Dude,
bruh.
I would dance in these, by
That's
the
a
way.
fucking.
I would dance
That's
for
like
hours.
a dress. Like
I would dance.
They drag on the ground and fucking get dirty. And
Let me
shit,
just tell
like,
you. Let me just tell you. I would never get rid of these. This is fucking history right here. This is like a pair of like. If you were born in the 70s.
17,000 on eBay. Going once.
For kickwear? Yeah, I'm selling these on eBay. Who wants a bid on a pair of vintage 1994 kickwears?
Just put it Supreme on it and you're good.
Smells like 94 too. Fucking. But that's what I'm saying. That shit right there. Those guys, they probably made a few
You can bring
million.
it back, dude. You can
They-
bring it back.
They probably
Sure.
will come back. Those guys made a unique product. There's a lot of material there. Those fucking pants used to cost between $80 to $120. And you know that probably was cheap, given the fact that this shit was so much fabric. And at least that was unique.
Yeah, it's
The Supreme line,
very inefficient.
to me, is just like, this is just some China fucking shit. This is some regular hoodie, some regular hat. This is whatever. So that's why I'm saying, for me, I've been thinking about for years about
Just
starting
they,
a line.
They really hit the jackpot when it came to demographic, because, I mean, Yeah, when I first moved here, maybe not when I first moved here, but I the first time going down fucking Fairfax and that Supreme store, I was like, there's a line that's going literally around the bend of just all these kids, and I'm like, oh, is there an event going on? Like, what's going on? And it's just that they're all in line for this small Supreme store, just trying to overpay for this crazy, because it's a community. It's kind of like Bitcoin. Almost.
Whoa.
Because it's like you're putting value on this thing that kids are obsessed with.
Oh, okay. No. There was something. There's a misconception. It says founded 94, bro. They've been around for years. Supreme is an American skateboarding shop and clothing brand established in New York City in 94.
So on October 2017, Supreme opened their 11th store. New York City. Maybe I think it's newer in anywhere besides New York City, like LA. And
they opened up in different states.
Yeah.
In key states.
And they were just like, they strategically opened up stores so that people would, like their shit would be limited and just create that culture around their products.
Limitation, bro. No, it's I don't know, man. Oh, look, he got a lawsuit. Supreme lost a lawsuit in an Italian court. Supreme cannot register its trademark in Europe. Supreme items not manufactured by Supreme can readily be sold in Italy and Spain, and Samsung was able to sign a promotion agreement with European Supreme. There's 2 Supremes. Dude, it goes to show you, dude. Like, who cares, though?
Let's make the next Supreme.
Can we make
Let's do it.
Venezuelan Supreme?
No, let's make another
American
brand
Supreme?
that is like Supreme. But
I don't think it's impossible. And you know what? It's probably easier now. In 94, he probably just had the stores, and he probably didn't really get his line motivated. Like, it probably didn't blow up till 2017, 16. So, but that was like...
No, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, sure he did well, but I'm just saying that the way to the way it is now, to like maximum velocity.
You get a celebrity to wear Supreme. You get like Odell Beckham Jr., Justin Bieber, like that.
Bieber. Why does everything ride on Justin Bieber?
Bad Bunny.
Fuck that guy.
Antonio Brown was seen wearing
Justin Bieber.
Supreme.
Justin Bieber isn't
but it's
like the
as
end
soon
all
as like what are you wearing, and then all of a sudden
even though he got a good voice,
it's like the value just increases. Like, it's absurd.
Well, dude, the thing is that now with the internet, you have maximum velocity at any given time. If you do you take the right steps, and that's why honestly, like, if you guys watch it for the first time, like, I teach digital marketing, branding, and entrepreneurship and business development. Like, that's a really big deal. You could do a lot of damage now in a little bit amount of time compared to the way you used to be. Because in the 90s, and even the early 2000s, we didn't have all these platforms that were like, oh shit, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, we had one here, we had one platform there. Not everybody was an adopter, but just everybody's adopted something at this point. So either you're a Twitter head, you're an Instagrammer, you're a Facebook. Oh, I don't use Facebook, I use Instagram. Okay, who gives a shit? They're connected. They're interconnected. Like, you don't even have to post on Facebook anymore. You could just use Instagram to post to Facebook. So it's like everybody's kind of adopted a different platform, but we're all more interconnected than we've ever been, and it's easier if you do the right stuff and you actually have a quality product. It's easier to make get to that zenith faster. It's easier to get to the top. And you only got to be at the top for a little while, dude, to make your millions. Like, I don't know about you, but, if you're starting out making fucking 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year, hustling your ass, and then all of a sudden within 5 to 7 years, realistically, that's a good amount of time, 5 to 7 years, and you're making like 5-6 million. I don't know about you, bro, but I think it's a good ticket out of town.
Hell yeah.
It's a good ticket. And it's possible, bro. It's possible. Just, what you need to do? You need to follow this podcast. Subscribe, follow me, and I will show you the way. Even if you got to hit the streets, the LA streets, and compete with the guys downtown.
Like, just look at this Instagram. Look at just the diversity of
Diversity of what?
People.
Well, people are fucking diverse.
You know,
but
that's
the stuff
thing.
doesn't.
It's to create a social awareness of it, get people on board, just like any social network.
Some of the shit's
You know that
awful.
alignable thing that someone referred me to. I was like, oh, interesting. This person.
That's been
signed up
around a
for it.
while.
Well, I'm just saying it's that method of of sharing and expanding and multiplying and getting people to wear all this
I'm gonna start
clothing that is
I'm gonna
questionable.
Start an entrepreneurial line.
It's questionable about the quality. the actually
This
how
is
it
a
looks.
shitty shirt, dude. It's not.
That's
even,
what I'm saying.
It's just a shitty fucking shirt with a logo on it. I mean, it's great
My
branding.
God.
It's great branding. It's great branding. I'm
We
not.
should do that.
I can't say anything.
Let's like.
That's a lot of work, though. I mean, I got a lot on the plate already. Let me take one step at a time. Take the steps. As long as you
Me and my buddy
progress.
we might get a 3D printer and we might manufacture some
You can start printing T-shirts.
some stuff. Maybe we can.
Maybe you can print 3D T-shirts. You can come out looking like something from what's that game? Where everybody's a block. Looks like a block.
Minecraft.
Yeah, it could be like we print Minecraft T-shirts. How do I put it on? You don't. You just slip into it.
Anyway.
It'd be interesting. But it goes to show you, dude. Listen, if you're motivated and you're dedicated enough,
Debate.
you
No
literally
debate.
you
No
can
debate.
literally go down. I'll go with you. If somebody has a great idea, if anybody who's watching this has a great idea and they want to get into business and they don't have any money, I will go with you to downtown LA and stand next to anybody who is like street
This is on-
cats.
This is being
And
recorded.
I don't care. Well, okay, so it's good.
Okay, your
what's
word
bad?
is in stone.
I will go hang out with you there, and I will cheer you on and help you gather money. Because you know what? I can guarantee you that we'll make as much money, if not more money. Some of these guys downtown, dude, I know for a fact, and I think I had mentioned this on another podcast. I was in Wells Fargo, right, a few years ago, and the bank manager told me there's a guy who makes $160,000 a year in cash collecting on the street. He goes on this one on-ramp, an on-ramp. That's his spot. That's his fucking place. He makes a ton of cash, limps away, does whatever, gets in his brand new BMW, and he just deposits cash in a place. He's like, bro, this guy came here with a wheelbarrow and with some money, just a huge bag, and he just dropped it. And what do? I mean, that's all off the books. That's tax-free dollars. You don't want to even have to worry about paying back an interest. God knows there's all kinds of stuff. So when people tell me that, like, there's no way for you to get money, there is always a way for you to invest. You just have to have the thought, you have the plan of action, and the process, and the tenacity. So if you have the tenacity to do it, then you can get it done. The money's there. Money's everywhere, man. The money's everywhere.
Absolutely.
So when people tell me, I got the money, well, get a good idea first. Supreme didn't do anything special. They slapped a red box with white text with the name Supreme on it. Congratulations, you made $100 million this year.
That's secondary, though. It's not about how what the design.
I get
looks
it. They
like.
built a culture around it. I understand. They're selling it, but you know what? I can guarantee you there'd be some.
We could make apple juice with a W.
I could.
Apple JEWS. Actually, maybe not.
Is that affecting you yet?
But no, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter.
recording this,
it
man.
doesn't matter.
Happy
doesn't
B-Day to
matter.
me.
Doesn't
You
matter what
schmuck.
it's called. Facebook is a horrible, horrible name. And
It used to be called the Facebook, by the way.
like before, it's a word you associate with something. Like just taking it at face value, it's a horrible name.
Well,
Xbox,
but it gave people a value, though. See, that's the thing.
PlayStation.
You don't have to have a
even.
great name, so you have to have either you have to have an emotional attachment to something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So emotional attachment, or you have to have some type of intrinsic value. So the intrinsic value with social media and Facebook in general was that oh, well, I could share my life with people I all over the world. I don't know. I can get some friends if I don't have any friends online. Or, you know what, I have friends and I don't want to talk to them on the phone, so I'll just put random pictures of myself in always great situations with no downward spiral, no real things. I'll just call it all the happy stuff. And everybody lives this happy life. And, you know, that's the thing. It's not real. Like, everybody has down times. Shit happens. And then, like, but everybody's only sharing the good shit. And that's the and not that I want to share the bad stuff, because I think it's like a personal, you know, when bad stuff happens to people, you only tell your friends and your family or people close to you who understand you. You're not sharing the shit with the world. And there are some people who share that shit with the world, which is even worse because it's not genuine. It's like, you know what? It's like the happy birthday to me thing today. Now, I obviously have thousands of friends on LinkedIn and thousands of friends on YouTube and all this stuff, right? LinkedIn is the worst. I feel like YouTube is a little more gentle. LinkedIn is the worst because they prompt everybody to be like, oh, don't forget to say happy birthday to this guy. I got like 1,000 messages today from LinkedIn on happy birthday. I'm like, oh, you should do this. And like all these spam messages, I'm like, thanks. And it's almost so not genuine at that point where it's just noise. It's just my phone just blowing up the entire time. And it's just,
no, I get
it's
that.
pointless. You know, so like
whenever I mean, I'll give it to Facebook that sometimes like the connections that I made in the past, like I may not remember their birthdays, but I feel like I want to acknowledge their birthday and maybe have that little dopamine, you know, make them have that dopamine hit of I want to wish you a happy birthday. I genuinely, you know, want to reach out to you and I hate to say make an excuse for conversation, but like,
well, that's what
you
it
know,
is.
it's like it triggers something in your mind that, oh, I haven't talked to this person in a while. Maybe I should.
But a lot of these people
message.
don't even know me, so it's not genuine.
Well, I'm saying like, I don't just send them the typical message. I reach out to them via like text, like a normal means of everyday communication or email, and I genuinely say happy birthday and I start a conversation because, you know, I'm genuinely curious what they're up to. And maybe I'm a bad person for not just, you know, doing it on any other day, but I
that's
think it's
still genuine though.
Yeah,
that's still genuine. It's not genuine when you have a spam bot just messaging hundreds of people to get you to come back to a platform to share some happy shit that's not really happy because it's, I don't know, your website blew up today or the tax man just took, you know, just levied like $50,000 of your bank account. Nobody's like sharing that shit. You know, the real shit, the real stuff that happens every day, the shit that you deal with, the shit that I deal with, the shit that everybody else deals with. You know, we're all living in this happy world. And listen, I'm not a pessimist though, but I'm a realist. I'm a realistic optimist. But the realism is, it's like this. People are convoluted about like what. It's not like this, like, dude. You know what? You're gonna give me a spam bot. Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And it's like, listen, you want to have a conversation? Let's have a conversation, a real conversation. Be like, yo, what are you really up to? And blah blah. How about like you do something? Have a meaningful transaction. Because in life, it's really, you know, in life you don't get any value out of existence if you don't have a meaningful transaction. So everything that I try to do, I try to have a meaningful transaction. And I don't mean necessarily like, oh, I get more than you. What I mean meaning, I mean like I either feel good, I learn something, I experience something that somebody else had, like a meaningful transaction. And you know what? The problem with social media is that 90% of the transactions that happen are not meaningful. They don't have any meaning. They're just, it's like a looking glass. You looking into some horizon of happiness that of everybody else, and you're sitting there like, oh, I wonder if this is really should be me. Oh, this should be me. But it's not real. It's not. None of it's fucking real. TV's not real. That shit's not real. And nobody's using deduction, and that's the problem we're having. It's not real. So we can all have, you know, boomerangs and happy faces going back and forth and all this crazy shit. But at the end of the day, it's not 100% real. So you can take it with a grain of salt. But there's some people who are literally get addicted to it. They get depressed by it. They say they can't do stuff. Or they just start like mentally diarrheaing everywhere and be like, oh, this life is so bad. You know, it's like I'm cyberbegging and what am I doing? Oh, Supreme. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it doesn't have utility, but the problem is that 90% of it's actually used in that fashion. And, you know, there's a lot of good things that can happen, but, you know, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's where we are as a society right now, you know? Like me, like
Yeah, I was
here,
just-
like, what is it? I'm just
I
a
forget
beer.
there's a thing that's about your outlook on life. There's like there's like tiers of it, and I'm trying to find it and I can't, and it's pissing me off. But maybe that says something about my personality. But yeah, because you mentioned pessimist, optimist, but there's also different tiers of that.
Yeah,
And
of course.
and I mean, you can, being a realist is obviously seems
Being
like
a realist is
most-
almost like a pessimistic
most,
view in some respects.
It's the most, I guess, logical or cerebral, I think, right? Is that cerebral is like the logical part of the brain? Is that it? Is that right? Anyway, but there's like different levels of that. Like you can still be an optimist, at the end of the day, but you realize obviously that there is that you need to be, grounded in a sense, but you can also be a half empty person.
But that's still,
and
but
also
the
have
half,
that,
but the half
that
empty could
realist.
still be a realistic perspective. Because okay, like so for instance,
Because like most people are I feel like pessimistic about the world and what the future holds for people, but I think it's a good thing to be an optimist. Obviously, it's a good thing to be a realist, but
it's a good thing to be grateful. It's a good thing to be optimistic about your actions. Optimistic about your actions. The future you can't predict. Nobody can predict that shit. Okay? Nobody can predict it. Because if you could, like you'd probably be in a better place than Supreme would be. So like being optimist about your actions. The future is just like some like no weird like, oh, the future, like what is this? I'm Nostradamus. So like it doesn't translate. So being an optimist about your actions is different than and being grateful for what you're in now is a really big deal. And that's the problem. And when I say being a realist, I'm being a realist about where you are in this existence, this plane we're on right now. Like so, for instance, this girl. I'll refer back to it on the previous episode. So I went to a cooking class, and I was doing this this thing, and I think I mentioned to you, right? I don't know if she said she was like younger, right? And her boyfriend like paid for her cooking class or whatever, and did this stuff. And then she was like, yeah, I'm in LA. I'm just hanging out. I'm a social sciences major, social sciences, whatever the fuck that means. And then I'm just social. And then I live in DC, like, Washington, DC. And, I was thinking about getting a job out here, but if I move out here and things don't pan out, then I'll just get a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking, I'm like, that's not realistic. What kind of value what kind of pandering are you going to do? I'm just a girl and I'm going to get a YouTube channel. I'm just supposed to shower you with money? Like, how does that work? And like, I could tell just by her conversation, about the conversation I was having with her, that she don't get it. She don't get it. Like, yeah, you got to provide value. The transaction is the most important thing. So again, if you're not transacting in some way, again, it could be spiritual, physical, monetary. It could be. There's a whole. It encompasses a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. But if you're not being stimulated, you're not, getting any value at all from the transaction. Like, what's the point? And I feel like, again, most people on social media, both broadcasting and sitting there absorbing all that they're not really getting anything from the transaction. They're getting this false perspective, and that's very damaging to the persona. It really is.
Yeah,
So,
but it's yeah, but it's like they're being fed and they're being rewarded for it too, which is frustrating.
Well, they're rewarding themselves. But anyway, we'll go on to that another.
Anyway, I want to do sort of an uplifting little story here.
The drones are planting trees to fight the climate crisis. The drones are in. The drones are in, folks.
Drones get a bad rap, but
All right. right, so they're getting a good rap here.
You know, let's just appreciate for a second. Let's appreciate what drones can do for the world.
Planting seeds. Drone Korea. Oh, it's being used in Australia right now?
You know.
Australia?
Yeah, and everywhere.
Well,
Reforestation, Brazil, Australia, pretty much everywhere needs it at this point with all the fucking shit that natural disasters that are happening.
well, natural disasters are natural for a reason sometimes.
And human-made.
Well,
But-
yeah, the human ones, but people keep on thinking that sometimes they're like, oh, there's a fire here. Oh, man, this is so horrible. Yeah, it's horrible because you live there. It's like the people who lived in fucking Pompeii, like, thousands of years ago. Like, realistically, people who live in... So I had this discussion, I don't know if it was with you or somebody else. So I when I went to Italy, it was beautiful, and I really enjoyed, like, the culture is, like, phenomenal. And there's so much that I learned and just connected with. But, you know, when you live next to a fucking volcano, all right, that's like a time bomb underground. Like if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
live
we had
next,
this conversation.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
yeah.
So like
On
you
the
know,
podcast,
yeah,
so.
exactly. So you know, you can go back to that one, watch that one. But the thing is that the same thing kind of happens with the deforestation and like the fires. The fires are a natural progression. That's actually something that happens in certain areas because it actually fertilizes the land. It kind of scraps it and then puts it back. Now, yeah, it's sad that you know you live there and your house burned down, but maybe you shouldn't be living in that area. Maybe you should have the understanding that it's going to happen. So again, that's more of a realistic perspective, and where it's sad, and it's just going to be a part of
the ecosystem, the organisms and animals, and that really even contribute to keeping the forest there. And it's the whole circle of life, like that gets, and it's most, you know, often not a natural disaster. It is caused by some type of thing that was altered and, you know, leads to it, whether it be global warming, whether it be, you know, thinner atmosphere, whether it be
Would be the
just like
what about the
fucking-
pangolin? Should we blame the
fucking
pangolin?
whatchamacallit,
What about the pangolin? Can we blame him?
you know, Chernobyl, the radiation, fucking, that shit's gonna take, it's lifetimes.
Maybe
For the radiation.
So let me ask you a
to-
question. Let me ask you a serious question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Serious. Okay.
Okay. I'm serious.
If the pangolin became extinct from natural causes, would you step in to save the pangolin? What would would you stop? Would you stop the higher powers' perspectives on doing that? Would you step in and be like, we need to save the pangolin?
At this
We can't
moment?
blame the pangolin. Yes.
Yeah, because how did the pangolin, like, what caused the pangolin to carry this virus? Like, what
But
what
I'm saying
caused
it, but
to-
like say it became extinct. No, number 9, the humans didn't step in. All of a sudden, they all died off, and you're like, I have to save the pangolin.
Hell yeah.
Like, why would you? Why?
Dude,
Why do you?
pangolins are
Why do you
cool.
think?
Pangolins are fucking...
When was the last time you hung out
sick.
with a pangolin? Can we bring up the pangolin, please? Can we
Dude,
pick up a video of
yes.
the pangolin? I want to see
Yes.
how cool the pangolin is. So everybody out there, I want everybody to know that I'm gonna make a shirt that says blame the blame the pangolin.
Dude, I told you, like, pangolin was like my favorite animal.
Favorite.
Favorite animal.
That's what
Animal favorite
That's what it does to you. It makes you
Yeah.
speak like a pangolin. Pangolin speak.
Dude, like, how sick
900,000 pangolins.
does that look? I mean...
Can we get a video? I want to see a thing move around and do
It's a small little
pangolin
thing. It's a small
It looks a little.
armadillo
Yeah, it looks a little prehistoric. I'm not gonna
The
lie.
world's most trafficked mammal is one you may have never even heard
Looks
of.
like it's got a
See, it's traffic. That's so
the
sad.
pangolin.
wildlife.
Like, people sell that shit.
Despite
just
its
because
lizard-like
of their,
Chinese people are supposed to
the
eat it,
Pangolin
but
because of
they
their scales,
is
man.
indeed a
they
mammal.
eat their scales. You
Some
think too?
pangolins
No, not
are as small
not
as a
eat their
house
scales,
cat,
but they use it as something.
while others are as big as a medium-sized dog.
Interesting.
Pangolins are
Dude.
covered in as many as 1,000 scales.
I would. That would
which
be my
protect them from
Megazord
predators
if I were
like
in
cats.
Power Rangers.
When threatened,
Be a power pangolin?
pangolin's natural defense is to curl up into a ball.
It's very interesting. It's very Pokemon-y.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Unfortunately,
Very
there's
Pokemon.
one predator that pangolins aren't able to protect themselves against: humans. According to some estimates,
See, we did
poachers
it.
have hunted more than 1 million pangolins in the past
Well,
decade.
you know, but who's really hunting these pangolins?
Poachers use trafficking
no
routes
American
that
Listen.
span the globe, frequently shifting routes to evade
There's like
law
one place. It's
enforcement.
it's like northern like Oklahoma or some shit. You see? Go back to that
All
map.
8
Go back to
pangolin
that map.
species,
No, right. It was right. Oh, go back.
million pangolins in the past decade.
So stop it right there. Do you see like all of Asia? You see that whole the map all over
Look,
South Africa?
scales,
And there's
body
like
parts,
one
whole
place.
animal.
There's that one place. Wait. What is that with the blue body parts? Oh, maybe it's like an
That's
Illuminati
so fucking
thing.
sad, dude.
Illuminati thing happening in the Middle America. That's Middle America, bro. That's dead. What state is that? Hold on, let's bring up a state of
That, if I had to guess, would be what's under
map of America. I have no idea. I'm so bad with that visuals.
It's gotta be Iowa.
But it's dead center, bro. Dead center.
It's gotta be Iowa.
Hold on. Slightly to the right, up north.
No, it's not.
It's Nebraska.
It's directly.
It's Nebraska. It's Nebraska.
Yep. I was gonna say Iowa and
It's
Nebraska.
like it actually borders. It looks like it's dead center, so it's between Nebraska and Kansas. It's basically the same thing. Yeah. So that's where
Anyway.
the pangolin trade is happening here in America.
Sad. So you wouldn't save the pangolin?
I don't
You
even
wouldn't step in?
You know what?
Step in,
I
save
mean,
it?
on that level, it's different. But I'm talking about natural disaster. I was talking about natural. I wasn't talking about somebody looking to increase their yang with some pangolin soup. That wasn't what I was.
In any
talking
case,
about.
can we just be happy that, drones are planting trees?
We could be happy.
Trees are good. Trees make oxygen.
Yeah, all plants. All plants. Plants are basically a lot. I feel like plants really feel more than you can imagine.
But beyond the plant, like, again, the reason for me bringing that up is, like, drones get a bad rap. The drone, fucking spying on people and fucking military shit.
That's like everything in technology. You could be used for bad or could be used to better the human race.
Surveillance
And believe me, this is a crazy race, my friends. And this is one where everybody's still running. And some of them are running circles. Some people are running straight ahead. Some people are running backwards. This is a backwards race going on too. This shit is real. This is more real than it's ever been because it's so interconnected. I don't even know.
Here's another cool thing about drones.
The DRL Racer 3 is a high-performance
Like,
quadcopter that can
this is
fly
pretty
and
sick.
turn across all three-dimensional axes.
Like
It's doing stunts.
basically
Powers
it's like
applied evenly to all
FPV,
four
so it's
motors.
first
Two
person.
spin
So you're
clockwise
basically,
and two
I think this is the one where you're controlling it via
Spins
VR,
forward across the lateral
and you
axis.
can do some
Powers
crazy
increase in the
maneuvering.
rear tube motors. This allows the drone to fly faster without
Yeah, I
colliding.
mean
For
over the
racing.
last 10 and 12 years, drones have
Power is increased
gotten
on one side.
substantially
That side
And,
rises.
and
more
for me as a
accurate.
filmmaker, like, that's really exciting. Like, you would be able to, I mean,
Yeah.
and
So that's a
traditionally
good
you'd have to be in a helicopter and lug a giant ass camera. Now you just control it from your phone, and you're able to get top quality footage without having to spend too much money. Like, look at that shit.
No,
Look
it's
at
it's
that.
crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's a crazy view. No, I mean,
Like, you have to have a pilot's license. Like, if you can fly a drone like that, like, you can fly a fucking plane. Anything.
I don't know about that, bro.
That-
You got a plastic piece of plastic versus a thing that's carrying
I'm just saying,
hundreds of people.
Well, I guess most
Carrying
pilots aren't
oxygen.
doing that anyways. There's more to it. I get it,
probably
but you
takes
do
more
have
skill
to. But
to
you
do
do
that.
actually have to have a pilot's license legally in a lot of places in order to fly drones.
No,
Um,
I definitely think
Yeah,
that
your friend. I remember when we were in New York. Your friend was talking.
Yeah, he works
about-
for a company that develops software, piloting software. Actually, it's a lot more involved than that, but we have to say that's for another podcast because it's top
Anyway,
secret
it's interesting.
shit.
It's like, I want to talk
Top
about some
secret.
fun stuff with drones. But anyway, we can move on.
So what are we at? We're getting to that point. We're
Yeah,
at
we've been going
3/4.
for a while.
3/4.
I mean,
Hey, well, real quick, I just want to shout out. So, if anybody's watching on mobile, okay, and I know there are some folks watching on mobile, don't forget to type in. Just go to YouTube.com, type in my name, David Scarpetta, or type in Get It Podcast. Get It, GETIT Podcast, and go to the videos there because you're only seeing one angle, me talking, my face, and even though it doesn't annoy you that much, you're gonna want to see the cutaways and the other cool stuff that's going on. So and you also get notified in a different fashion. So make sure you're there. And that's also Hakeem. You can follow him. He is a very aspiring and hardworking filmmaker, doing his fast.
Keep going. Keep
like
it
that?
Going.
Is that fast? How fast is that?
Keep
It's pretty
going.
fast, right? Okay.
Keep it going.
That's it. So
Thank you.
yes,
I'm awesome.
you're welcome. Nick,
No.
you get fast fingers. Look how fast that is. It's video game stuff.
Wait.
So
I
what do
just
we
wanna
what do we
shout out
finish on?
Hammy 24444. Well, that's a lot of fours.
It's a lot of
Must
force.
be a lucky number. Actually, 24 is my lucky number. It's also my birthday. So, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us. We went through a whole podcast though, so we're getting down to that time we're gonna wrap up. But let's do oh, thanks. It's not my birthday though. It's this guy's birthday. So, cheers. Cheers to all birthdays.
Cheers to rainbow cake.
Yes, delicious rainbow cake. That what's that? The chocolate stuff.
Oh no
that
no
is used?
no, it's in between the layers.
Yeah. What is
Almond paste.
it? No.
What do you mean?
Christine was saying it was like some type of not ganoush. It was like
Baba ganoush?
crazy.
I don't know. I don't know.
It sounded like baba ganoush, but it wasn't. And
Definitely
it
not.
sounded-
It doesn't
sounded
taste
a
the
little
same.
Healthier maybe. He says, "What you guys talking about?" We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about drones. We talked
You
about,
have to go back now. You have to go back and subscribe to watch the rest of it.
We talked
Can't
about
go back in time. You gotta go
the
forward.
Supreme Oreo, and we actually didn't talk about Indiana Jones,
Oh, Indiana. I know.
which was on our docket.
I feel like we should talk about it next time because it's agitating me, and I want to have a really good
Wanna
birthday.
have
It's agitating me.
we've had enough negative.
Indiana. Indiana who? Who?
Indiana, you.
You know what? You would probably play a better Indiana Jones than my man now because, I swear, since we're on the technology aspect, at this point, and I was saying this to you before we started rolling, at this point, you can literally you could be in one movie, do a good job, have a decent franchise, and all of a sudden you could be like 100, and then you just keep on putting out movies, and you don't even need to be in it anymore. You could just literally be like, my likeness is here, and I've been injected into the machine, and I'm not really acting anymore. This is not even my voice, but this is my grimace, and here I am. And I feel like, honestly, dude, come on. The last one was bad enough where you can see he was kind of like had the older guy hunch. And he was dressed in that hero 80s hero costume, and he was like super sweaty. I don't even think they had to even sweat him up. You know how they make you sweat automatically? They put the sweat on you and the grease. I don't even think he had to do. I think he literally just had to like walk out onto the set. And it was just so. I was like, oh, come on, dude. Don't get me wrong. I love Harrison Ford, but Harrison, you got. I think you did a good job. I think you need to take and give it because the thing that got upset about me because in an interview he's like, Indiana Jones dies with me. I guess. I'm like, you don't even need to die really. Like I said, you just keep making moves. You could be gone. Look at Tupac and keep coming out with albums.
Yeah,
you could be in like shows
technology.
and
What's his name?
we
James Dean. They're bringing him back for a movie. He's long gone, but
it's crazy. So, But
as long as technology
I'm waiting for
improves.
a trailer, and we'll
and you could
we'll
be
critique it.
you yourself, like we
Yeah,